Yeah, we are here today to discuss basically what the title says. It means how game designers must prepare for a future where they will become basically a fundamental key figure on what I've been in my past experience calling is the product development department. No, how we put product ownership into the game design mindset. That's the main core of the talk. This is the actual agenda that we are going to cover, where we will explore my personal journey in the game industry that relates to the topics that we're going to talk here, and basically how we can get that expanded role of game design and the significance of what is called the product thinking. Maybe you all are not aware of that type of terms. It's more savvy in the tech realm. But yeah, how we can examine this shift towards the product ownership. And basically, the takeaways is going to be that awareness of that type of journey, why we need some game designers to embrace and aim for product owner type of roles, and what that could benefit definitely organizations and companies and the game designers themselves. And definitely be aware of as game designers, we have a more wide open type of career paths that we can aim for and be more flexible in our careers. Yeah, and the type of skills that you need for if you thrive for going to those directions. Okay, if it works. It doesn't. Nice. Cool. So first time, I'm going to talk about a little bit about my journey and what I call that a tale of going from design, becoming product owner, and then coming back to design as it is right now. Yeah. That's basically my journey in a nutshell. I started my journey in game dev in the early stages of the rise of mobile, etc., basically on the hub of Barcelona, working on Gameloft, working in a couple of successful titles, especially Asphalt 8, then moving abroad towards to Germany, working on good games, and then have the luck of being able to come back to my hometown, Valencia, Spain, and start working remotely as soon as the pandemic started. But that's when I made the switch to basically work in product-related roles. And I was like, God, what is product about? I had to figure out a lot of things on the run, basically. And then learn a lot of these kind of things and things like game performance, KPIs, etc. And just at the same time trying to juggling with the role of being a game lead for teams that were not that ready, trying to hone in them, etc. But also had my little play through AA, AAA kind of development, being part of an outsourcing company that wanted to have their own studio internally. Didn't work that well, but learned a lot. And then I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but sometimes burnout happens in our industry, definitely. So I had to take like a active vacation from being in game dev. So I took it fully the role of being a product manager in a tech company, because I really wanted to embrace that role, learn all about it. So yeah, joined that startup, and then of course COVID happened. So apart on top of that, managing that responsibility, learning how to fully remote manage teams, manage the product, make it successful, being there. So yeah, what it gave to me is like a lot of insights, a lot of experience that I thought, okay, this is the kind of thing that we really need to bring into the game industry, the type of product thinking, etc. So I have the chance to be welcome in an organization like Scopely to fully dive in the product manager role as a strategist, as a roadmap owner, and then from that, my current role is as design director in Flying Wild Hog. And it's something very interesting, because this is something that most of designers are not aware, that you can aim for this type of roles. But as soon as it's getting like a little bit more specialized and bringing this type of roles into the AAA space, AA space, because we are aiming for doing game as service type of games, etc. So you need these product managers, but people are not aware of what kind of skills you need to be considered for those roles. And you can save this type of... Sorry?
Speak to the microphone.
That's okay? No? Thank you. I'm not used to, so. So my journey here just reflects, okay, you can do all this kind of road, and some people will reflect that, oh, you don't need to do that. If you definitely aim to learn certain things, you can try for those. So yeah, so let's gonna talk about what's the evolving nature on the game design roles. So yeah, we have the game designer, and when I started, there was just game designers. You had the generalist. We do jack of all trades. You will do level, you will do systems, etc. But then, little by little, from 2011, you started to see like specialization. Then started to grow, and then you have all this plethora of specializations. It's specializations that you can get when you dive into the game design department or game design things. To me, all of that is basically we are all part of the product development family. We are the owners of the game experience. It doesn't matter if you are in sound, you are UX, or whatever. We need all to collaborate to do better products for our audiences. No? And that's the thing. It's like our goal of a job is to craft those kind of immersive, engaging, enjoyable experience for our audience. We are the ones who shape the journey that players embark when they play our games, no matter if it's casual, if it's more hardcore, I mean, AAA, this kind of thing. We are professionals. It doesn't matter what type of games you are doing. It's like your goal is to create a cohesive and a captivating experience for your audience. No? And again, the landscape of game development and gaming continues to evolve. So we must adapt to our roles for that kind of changes and be able to leverage and be able to adapt to what are the needs from the business side also, which sometimes we are not that aware because, of course, we are creatives and we embrace passion, but sometimes passion blind ourselves a little bit, and this is what it's all about. This is why it's very important to think about product thinking and player-centric design. If you are not aware of that, it's basically it's embracing kind of a product mindset where designers create experiences and games that resonate with the players and their needs, leading to more engaging experiences and potentially to more successful type of commercial products. No? So we are going to explore basically the practical strategies that you can adapt to influence that and get basically uncovering the importance of this. So basically the traditional, what's the traditional, or what I called in the intro of the presentation is the paper designer. No? When I talk about paper designers, I'm talking about this person that basically is in charge of creating documentation for very long time, very bulky, kind of the typical game design documents as they used to be. And this has a little bit of some limitations that, from my experience, in mobile, we move over a little with the product approach because we are able to iterate a little bit faster than it happens on other parts of the industry. But this is like the limitations basically are, there are communication issues between designers and the rest of the development teams. Then you have difficulty to iterate and validate earlier what are your intentions, because it takes so much long. And then also you have the little problem of the chased designer. So everyone is just asking you, poking you, hey, can you give me the thing, how the thing is going to be, what's the idea there, and give me time. So yeah, I've been in many design teams that you get like a lot of anxiety because someone, it could be programmers or whoever, or stakeholders are just poking the department to say, yeah, give me the thing, give me fast, and need to be like that. But we are not validating early enough the stuff. And also is the problem of the gut feeling type of design. So yeah, we are making games that we love and we love to enjoy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are resonating with the correct people. It's like you are wishing that you will find an audience that will resonate, and by magic and lot of luck, you will get an ongoing audience that will grow because others will like it, etc. So those are the limitation. What I propose, from what I got being in tech, etc., is having a more product thinking approach. This is very simplification of what means to be on a product thinking mindset. Is basically we prioritize the user, no, at the very beginning. how we can prioritize that through research, real research about what type of games they like, etc., and then create a proper player segmentation. Find your audience and aim for that one to resonate. It doesn't matter if it's, again, from casual to AAA. That's the focus. So yeah, you can truly understand their preferences, their behaviors. By segmenting those, you can get into distinct groups that, based on their characteristic, you can tailor the experience or parts of the experience that will resonate. And definitely, with that, what is the part of the job to be done, we need to define and refine what's the vision that aims to fulfill what our product is about, no? So aligning better that game vision with all the components that are part of the development teams. Like you have the art vision, you have the game vision, you have the product part or the stakeholders' vision on what this product needs to be about. Okay, mix it out, try to align it so we don't end up in the traps of, yeah, that part is thinking about making that game, the other part is thinking the other thing, and then a lot of surprises in the development as soon as you are getting toward the end, like things change, so chaos. No, it's trying to manage risk, trying to manage a little bit of the chaos. And that comes along with the establishing a product strategy that outlines what type of steps, agreements, alignments you need to take to bring the actual game to life that resonates with those audiences. What is the outcome? All of that, at the very early stages, you can define definitely what type of goals your game is aiming to meet and what features that game should have to meet those goals and make that happen. No? So with that, it's like we set game goals that align with our desired outcomes. These goals drive to our design decisions and help us to prioritize features. It's great to have a long list of features that you could have, but then you need to decide definitely which one are the most important ones that are going to make the vision, the game vision, to resonate with the actual audience. No? And based on that, you make prioritization along with the, so this is the vision part, and then you have the execution part. You need to talk with the part that's going to do the execution and came to agreement, because you can end up in the trap of making promises and then you cannot deliver, definitely, or misalign. No? And again, this is what I think, for example, it could work with the approach of having some form of not a game design document, and we used to be. Before that, having some form of a game vision document that basically each part of the team involved in creating the player experience can put their insights there about what's the vision, artistic, etc., so on, all the type of visions, and then having the stakeholders or the product owners basically aligning that so everyone is kind of pleased and compromises are met, that depending on the resources that the team has or the situation on the timelines, so you make compromises. That's the whole thing. You can use, to facilitate that type of application of the product thinking approach, you can use a link canvas. This is something that if any of you have been trying to delve into, okay, how you can start your own business, it's a easy way to deliver, okay, what's the problem or what's the game that we are aiming for to make, who is the game for, who's your or target audience, all these kind of key questions that will help to align better what's the vision of the game and what the target audience that you are approaching. One thing, one tool, personal recommendation, there are many others that fit this. To me, I love to use Miro, for example. It allows the teams to collaborate actively while making those decisions, while making those research, put notes, etc. But you have a plethora of other tools that are very similar, of course, in all the budgets. But Miro, you can start for free, definitely. But it's really, really useful. We use that in tech like extensively, and I learned to love it, so that's why I recommend that particular one, because it has a set of features that keeps growing, and it's super good in terms of the customer service, etc. But it's not a sales pitch for the thing. In any case. Okay, so product thinking again. Effective approach for game designers to create successful games. This is the simplified version of what's product thinking about, no? You have the whom you are making this game for, so research, shit out of that. by using, and this is, I think this applies, it doesn't matter if you are indie or you are in a big corporation. Basically, you need to do your user and market research, segment your users, pick the ones that are not only the profitable ones, but the ones that you think are going to passionate more about your product. Because you cannot please everyone at every level, not with the infinite amount of capacity of resources. And then, of course, research and figure it out what are the stakeholder inputs. Because that's very important, especially if you are in corpo. In big organizations, big or medium size, that could be something that, you really need to align with what they want, no? And it's not about conflict. It's not, them versus us or anything like that. It's a matter of making us the owners of aligning the creative goals with the business goals. No, that's product ownership. Again, owning the vision. So with that research, you understand your audience. What is about defining the thing is, define your purpose and define your goals, the goals of your game. So as I said, clear that vision, align it, create that product strategy. And one tip here is, I really like the approach of one-pagers instead of bulky game design documents. So you can align the intention of design faster, talking about the why we should be doing that and what we want to do, but not focus on the how, because we have a tendency of focusing too fast on how we are going to solve the problem. No, first align why you need to do that and what we could do about that, and then talk with the specialists, talk with the devs, etc., and try to figure out the how later. No? So we can ideate, so all the creative part happens at that moment. For your game design, explore the different concepts, be wild, make a lot of assumptions there, and try to figure out a way to prove those assumptions or get the glimpse that, okay, this is something that could shine, could work, not, and put that prototypes. This is some personal approach I'm taking currently with my team. It's like making them not only do the theoretical part, no, all the pre-documentation, one pages, etc., but also build what is your intention in a form of a little prototype, owned by design only, and then pass that to other teams. It could be UX, it could be concept, many others, so they understand fully your vision. Because sometimes we tend to put it just on paper, and paper has the problem of interpretation. So it's, okay, design meant to do that, but this is the proof, but it doesn't lock the thing. It's just a Kickstarter of the design intention, then others can put on top on that, and then create or variations, or give you glimpses of the potential iterations that you can do with that design, and it's all about early validation. Test your thing, and figure out if it works or not, or there will be problems, especially on the how. Because you can be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, it's gonna be amazing, etc., etc., and then some dev is gonna bring you like the reality, no? Put you into there, no fucking way we can do that on time, etc., or you will need this, that. And that's the part of, building the thing and then validating. Sorry. So you can innovate, you need to iterate, and my tip here is like, choose your benchmark as soon as possible. Okay, if you want to be as good as that, this is the moment to figure it out what is missing to meet those benchmarks, or at least you have something to compare to say, it's going to be as good as, because sometimes that's what happens. It's not only about being the best on everything, or your design or features to be far and beyond. Sometimes it's like, okay, we can leave it like that, it's good enough, so we can focus maybe on other more important USP, etc. No? And then, of course, is the build part and that validation, which is about, collaborate together to define the vision, prove it, validate it, then do a lot of prioritization, because you can have a lot of wishes, but then the reality of what's the timeline that you're going to manage probably is going to kill a lot of them. So choose your battles there, along with your producers, all the rest of the stakeholders, to say, okay, the game is going to be about this, this, and that. And if it's a form of early access or something that is growing, choose what's the core that should be at the very beginning that will help you to make a more engaging experience and go beyond over the time. But of course, that's up to whatever is your reality with your development team or the company that you're working on. So yeah, that's basically, those are the key points of the importance of product thinking. It helps to improve the game quality and meet the business objectives. Collaboration, super key with other teams, leading to a more cohesive and engaging game experience. And make data-driven decision, or data-informed, it would be the best word, I didn't change it, that enhance, the player engagement and drives revenue eventually. It doesn't matter if it's a free-to-play product or it's a premium type of product. In the end, when you have an audience and you engage them, little by little, it will grow and it will get better. And then the importance of player-centric design is think about the player all the time. No? Unlike traditional design methods, it focuses on the player experience, and then it's gonna give you better understanding of the player needs and the preferences, allowing us, designers, to create games that resonate better and maintain their interest, especially over time, if your product is something that it needs to maintain that attention for longer, even if it's a premium release. Then what you want to build is that it's a loyal player base. You want games that they enjoy it so much, and even if it's like one every 4 years, and they are eager to buy again from you because they love the type of experience that you are specializing and everything. And then, of course, is maintaining the competitiveness because, the market is saturated in all the spectrums, even if it's in console, PC, or if it's in mobile. And that's why we need to prioritize as game designers, the player experience and the satisfaction. So by laser focusing our efforts and budgets on something that can definitely resonate with audiences that become loyal. So take it easy, that's my tip here, on trying to aim, especially if you are a little company, and every kind of wave that you feel that happen, at least in my experience, choose one and be really a specialist of that, and then maybe later you can switch to bigger goals or bigger type of games that you want to aim, but at least choose one thing, do it very, very well, and find how you can resonate with that type of audience. That's my little tip there. But in the end, all this thing is about matching the creative side of our craft, the game design, with that business acumen. So it's the gut feeling need to match the rationale of this is a business in the end. And again, this is my tip, is sometimes you need to tone down a little bit the gut feeling type of design. It's like doing things that you want and put yourself in the shoes, be empathic with your audience, but also with the business side. It's not, the money people is not our own enemy in this case. You need to learn a little bit of their language and what they are aiming for, so together you can collaborate in finding those audiences, resonate with them. That will drive all the revenue, all the results, and you will feel that you are doing what you can notice as good game design, definitely. In that sense, this is a little bit of a little framework that I'm proving and trying from what I took from tech, and this is so, it's just a suggestion, Something that is working with, especially with teams that are not used to at all with what product it's about. To me, it worked very well. So you have the discovery phase. You make them basically analyze the market, analyze the type of users, and if you have the chance of have some data insights internally, great. If not, there are plenty of platforms, free and paid, that you can delve to or look for reports, etc. So you can get enough insights to do more educated guesses on where your game should be aiming to as an experience. Then, of course, the definition part is about, you have to make the game pitch. You are aiming to look for a publisher, even internally, it happens. Make it short, first 2 pages, something like that. Align the vision in 2 pages with the stakeholders, and then try to make the full pitch. Because sometimes we just jump in making the full thing, and then it's like, discrepancies here and there. It takes more effort, it's more hardcore, basically, to get the alignment. So my suggestion here is 2 pages first, then you can do as soon as you have whomever needs to be aligned with on the high level. Then internally for the teams, start working on one-pagers, intentions of design, as much as you need, definitely, to support the the game pillars that you establish on the pitch. And if you can manage that because you have technical people, technical type of designers that can pull it off fast, etc., try to build prototypes, as I said, to support your ideas on paper, so everyone can understand fully what's the vision of what you're trying to build. And then, again, collaboration and iteration. Bring that to others. Don't be afraid about getting feedback inputs from the other parts of the development teams, which are really eager to be incorporated into crafting the vision of the game. And sometimes, and many times, at least in my experience, we don't do that. We try to, or we are forced to work like in silos. Break those silos. That's my full tip suggestion here. And then make some prioritization, definitely. As soon as you're starting to validate things, identify, and it's like, yeah, you have 5, 3 type of things to do. Choose one. Choose one that you can do really, really good one, really, really good, and become that your main USP, etc. Work on that. And then later, as soon as you have that product backlog on the side, that's when the full specking, all the traditional type of work that designers are used to do, then you work on that. When that usually should happen on pre-production, basically. Cool. So now it's like, okay, all the things that I've been talking about, how we can put that on practice and how it looks like it's beneficial for game designers, no? Basically, as I said, you need to align the creative vision and the business goals. So product ownership basically aligns that to facilitate this empowering the creative and autonomy of the game design teams, establishing a holistic approach. I mean, probably you guys have heard so many times these things, and nobody actually applies correctly because it tends to dilute from focusing on the very high level things that you need to align, going super low level in no time. It's like lots of people involved, especially in high level managers, like, I want things on hands as soon as possible, or people be busy and delivering things, delivering value super fast. And sometimes you need to, okay, can we talk about what's the whole vision? Are we agreeing that this is the type of game that we are making, etc.? So go through holistic here. Align things on the top and don't move on to the next step, and everyone is speaking the same language or the same vision on the room. And then, try to foster that effective collaboration between the teams. Make what it delivers is it reduces the uncertainties and the risk of, I want to make this game and this other department want to make another different thing. Or suddenly features appear out of nowhere, or suggestions get slipped into. This approach tries to reduce that type of things. But of course, there's no perfect situation, no? We are talking here about theoretical stuff. You need to adapt it to your studio reality or your personal reality. I mean, it works for indies or for big game teams. And again, data-driven decision making is like support your vision with some form of data that will give, okay, you're playing the guess game. You don't know if it's gonna be great or not, but at least we will get some hints that this could work, no? It's only about, if you can pull out some metrics that will support your ideas and then make those informed decisions. Try to back up your intentions with some data, some form, or try to validate it with that. So what type of abilities game designers need to acquire or to refine, depending on your level of experience, to go through this path of the product ownership. First of all, understand the market trends. Don't put yourself in a blind box where you only do things that you like, etc. Go and check the player preferences, because maybe you have been out of that loop, because especially I think in long developments, that like it happens on AAA, etc., that you are not aware of what's out there and you don't have that much time to play everything, etc. So this is why conduct market research, try to analyze as much as you can player data, get into reading and understanding what industry reports can get you, dive in Reddit, in Twitter, whatever, with those community of players that really like that type of game, try to even ask them. I mean, in tech, for example, we tend to do this user research like heavily. You sit down with actual users, you ask them a lot, you reward them with something, codes or whatever. But you understand, you make some key questions. The UX departments, I think, in the game industry, they are growing in importances, but if you have the lack of able to work with one, sit down with them, be part of their process to get the insights from the actual users for the product that you are making, if it's ongoing, or for the product that you want to make in the future development. And of course, play games. As much as you can, of course. I'm talking from my experience, being a father also, being a director. Time is very little, but try to play games, and games that are outside of your comfort zone, because you can get some insights or something that can click that is in that other genre. That, for example, my personal experience is like full diving into all the whole casual puzzle match deco type of thing. Never did that ever. And if you talk to my early game developer at the 2000, well, I don't want to work in Candy Crushes or anything like that, but then I end up working in that, and you get a lot of why these people get like that engaged with this type of experience, and can you maintain not only the engagement and of course getting a lot from them is because they love, they're passionate, they can be more hardcore than any type of hardcore players that some people have the understanding. They love their game because games become their comfort moment, kind of their hobby. They can be sit down, of course, playing with the Candy Crush or whatever thing, but they passionate about that, and that's why they keep being engaged, asking for more and paying for more, no? Because they love it, not because they are just hooked, no, by the evil game designers that work on that type. No, it's not about that. There's a lot of places that you can search for getting this type of insights. There's just a few examples here. So you have data insight and market data. The two of data AI and game refinery are mostly focused on mobile. It's a shame that we don't have that much, especially on the console market and in the PC market. Apart from Newzoo, it's the only one that I found out that is relevant enough and gives you, but still is not up to the level of what happens on mobile, what insight about specific features, how they work. I mean, full breakdowns, insane that amount of data that can get you, oh, yeah, we can do it like that, or we can apply this twist. No, in the realm of AA or AAA, basically we work in gut feeling about that, or trying to copy the big ones, definitely, that march. Then also listen to some podcasts and consult some relevant blogs. To me, the most ones that I like is Deconstructor, fun, amazing, and Rise and Play gives you a lot of insight on what's the high-level position. So if you are in your career path and you want to delve into more managerial or director level, you will get a lot of insights of that. And those are the positions in the end that have the influence power to decide what's the type of product, apart from the UC levels or the money people, no? And then there are a lot of tools, and again, for all the budgets. These ones here listed, especially for the console, for the PC market, or it can serve also for the console. Those are free. That can give you some insights about the amount of sales. I mean, and they are kindly accurate, so you get, instead of do wild guesses, you can support a little bit the data because they are kind of close to what's the reality of the actual numbers, in my experience. So yeah, next ability that you need to hone and work out is to be data informed, work out in your decision-making abilities. So basically, get familiar with the most important KPIs, key performance indicators. So basically, it will help you to understand how effectively we will achieve the objectives of the game. Then again, benchmarking is the key, involving comparing our game performance if it has been launched, but even choosing your correct benchmark for what you are aiming to compare when you are defining the game idea. That's comparing the things against industry standards, things that have been already out, and then revealing what areas of improvement you can aim for in the same type of genre, type of game, etc. Then practice estimating changes in the metrics. So as game designer, estimating the impact of those design changes is super crucial, because especially when you have this ongoing type of product that are becoming the norm somehow, because yeah, of course, companies want products that last longer as soon as they are released. So if you can have like 5 years of a product, so be aware of that. Oh, you can make this change, how this is going to affect engagement, etc. Then, of course, if you can, through YouTube or courses, etc., learn some statistics. So you will have a better conversation with the product departments and all the areas on the product department. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit dry. Then focus on understanding the whys. Dive deep in those. Try to understand basically the patterns that work around what the type of games that you and why you are making this type of game. Okay, so informed decisions. It's really key here. And then of course, everything is an assumption. As soon as you release it, you touch the green, the market. Try to find a way to test those assumptions, not just go with gut feeling and, oh yeah, this is going to be the best amazing game ever. Like, if you can, I don't know, through playtesting, through everything, try to prove that as soon as possible. And because you will find the wrongs earlier, and then you will figure it out, a solution for that, and not just have a not pleasant surprise as soon as the game is launched, why it's not working, and then all the blaming and all the point finger games start to happen, especially on big corporations. And yeah, try to make your user test, etc. And it helps you to align with the player preference. So if you can manage a way that, okay, sit in a room with this type of players or through Discord, etc., present the thing. Sometimes it's tricky, especially I think in the AAA, because everything's so secret and everything's super protective. In mobile, in my experience, they tend to go to Malaysia, whatever, and then bring the players and try to test it. And there are more ways to do the early access or the soft launch that we don't have those, especially on the closest platforms like our console. So try to figure it out in that sense. This is used for the newcomers in the industry, students, etc. This is when I say key performance indicators. All of these are very relevant. Some of them more for the free-to-play type of games, but I think you can find or make a reflection on what are the key performance indicators even for premium type of games. So, I mean, I think it's going to be uploaded, so you can take it later, definitely. But yeah, but all these kind of things can guide you on your design decisions. And this is the key thing for me, is you are designing for people. And sometimes with the product approach, you can lose track of that and just focus on the, oh yeah, we need to match that KPI to be that results, or the metrics need to be like that. No, you are designing for people. Prioritize that to create the engaging experiences. By the way, okay, we are kind of, I'm going to rush a little, sorry. Remember, good game design leads to possible results. On the short term, if you hit the jackpot, or on the long run, keep focusing on that. Understand your players, devote to them. And again, design games that connect with people on a deeper level, empathize with those players, and make them something that they will love and embrace and be eager to ask for more. Cool. Why it's not working? Okay, nice. So how to engage, enhance the game design product skill set, dive in the product frameworks, get better on defining and prioritizing the features, so your intentional designs, being clear, seek mentorship and training. Ask for that to your organization. And if you are, I mean, my personal experience, I got lucky. I find the last company I worked on an amazing mentor that taught me a lot, working close with him, taking a lot of responsibility, but that's rare. It's not that often what happens. But if you identify someone that could bring you that much knowledge, inputs, feedback, etc., towards the path that you are aiming for, I think it's worth it. Or ask for that type of courses, training, use the budgets that sometimes organizations give you, or most of them, to get better. Be proactive. Definitely, it's a good tip. Try to seek for opportunities to go through this type of experiences that will form you as a better professional. And again, alignment and influence. This is the way that is not, don't aim to go through authority. It's way better to learn how to influence decisions by data, be supported, and be data informed on the things that you want to present as the intention. Don't try to push it like by authority. Sometimes we don't have the real authority until you reach certain levels in the career, but it doesn't mean that you cannot make the influence and make a positive impact in that sense. This is why you need to learn how to improve your soft skills in product ownership, are very relevant. So practice this active listening and effective communication. Empathy is key here. Open-ended type of questions to better articulate your vision and your priorities. Participate on the cross-functional training, team building activities. Yeah, be nice to each other in that sense. Talk to each other. Don't wait until, oh yeah, here's the thing, and now you need to put it as we want. No, have a conversation. Maybe it will enhance what you initially envisioned. And again, leadership, it needs to be developed. Leadership training, look for it. Because as individual contributors, yeah, it's amazing. You do your thing, you become a specialist, but sometimes some people are put in managerial type of positions, and not all, I include myself, have the proper training. Search for it. You can have a lot of training in YouTube for free, but if you can manage to influence your organizations to, please, can we get this type of training, it will delve into better results on every level. Be adaptable. This is a framework, this is a guideline. It will not fit in every other house. You need to find how to tweak to bend the rules and guidelines. And again, alignment and influence is key. So you have here a set of suggestions of good books that talk about product thinking to be product managers or any type of the roles that you can have around the product ownership. Platforms, pricey, but really, really good. If you want the best, to me, it's Reforge. You can get a lot from LinkedIn Learning on the managerial, on all the soft skills also. YouTube, and if you want to learn from product, and there's some from tech and also from gaming, Product School has an amazing channel in YouTube about that. So that's a recommendation. And then about soft skills, yeah, you can have a lot of good book recommendations. Of course, I didn't have all of them here because I don't have much space in the slide. And one that I recently read, that one about game design impossible, it talks about the nuances and the people problems that you find inside the game industry. So it's pretty interesting read, definitely. So yeah, let's gonna prepare for the future and how organizations can support this trip. It's like, this is why we need more game designers embracing the product side. To drive this innovation, foster the player-centric design, and truly empathize with our users on the gaming industry. If we don't take that role and we move on, definitely they are gonna call the more money people type of savvy, and they will be like brutal about telling what you need to do to drive those KPIs. It's better if we can manage the balance through the force somehow. No, it's not, there's no dark side here, because in the end we are making business here. No, we are making money through entertaining people through our products. But I think organizations, some are not that aware, others are more aware that designers that understand the players need to be also on the product side. So yeah, successful strategies for switching to product. Develop definitely your leadership skills, because again, you're gonna be leading through not authority, but influence and be empathic, because you need to communicate to a lot of people and align them. Get a solid foundation on all these product mindset, product frameworks, etc. Try to expand your skill set as much as you can, and then put yourself proactively in some form of challenges to prove yourself that you are up to the task, because that's what you are going to be measured when you ask for this, can I be the product manager of, or again, the strategist or the roadmap one, whatever. And this is why the role of the culture, company culture, I mean here, can support the product ownership path. So those organizations that support this are more eager to retain top talent because they are giving them paths to thrive, because sometimes, yeah, you want to be X, but that role is covered. But then going through the product side, you can have the same level of influence, the same level of be the main voice in some things. But again, you will be more satisfied instead of going out to look for those type of roles. And again, game designers that experience this product ownership, they are more flexible. You can have a more, at least was my experience. You can go from product to actual design. You can be on the trench, definitely, or helping with the strategy and the vision. And yeah, there are a lot of companies that are thriving for aiming to fill those roles. So good for your career, definitely. And yeah, fostering this, the benefits is, yeah, it's getting this innovation and culture of continuous learning. It leads always to engaging and more profitable products if the team is aligned with that. And then for, for both designers and organization, yeah, all this drives to business success and create a better positive work environment, which is really, really needed to do successful products that then you can keep and retain the talent. Yeah, so almost time. Cool. So some conclusions here. The takeaways, as I said, are unlock your potential as a game designer, be open to embark to this transformative journey to getting product oriented, product savvy, because it will open a lot of doors for you. You will embrace the ever-changing landscape of the game industry, specializations, etc., new roles opening, and you will seize the opportunity to really shape what's the future of game development, because you will be involved in the high-level conversations that make the decision of the type of products that we want to make or we need to make. And then, again, advantages for game designers and businesses, collaborative environment. You will foster innovation, empower the creative people with actual influence power. I'm about to end, sorry. And then it will drive success of your games. And of course, as I said just at the end, it will give you a dynamic type of career path. So when you add up to, it's like, oh, I want to be more creative, be more in the trenches, or I want to be more in the strategic side, you can switch. There's no problem. You can be 4 years here, 2 years here, even 1 or 2. And that will give you all the necessary product management skills you need, all those, and then basically learn how to do true agile thing, because it's not something that happens in every role. And yeah, you will be part of the movement that drives okay, what we understand game development as product development, and be centered around our audiences. And that's all. Thank you for being here. I really like it, and I don't know, probably we don't have time, no, for questions, because the other talk needs to happen. But I will be outside, or so. Yeah. Thank you for coming.